Thank you very much, DBC. Always so insightful and thoughtful, like you always say. First and foremost, a lawyer, then as well as a DBC. So thank you for that and applying it to your discipline. So, colleagues, I'd just like to share with you. Following on Prof. Caro, can you see my slide?
Yes, Juliet.
Okay. So thank you very much. We have quite a packed program today, Prof. And that's exactly why we've called the academics or those within their disciplines to actually think about the opportunities and the threats and to think of it not only in punitive fashion, but how are we going to apply it to our disciplines? And just some rules for us, colleagues. This is an online environment. We do make mistakes sometimes. Be generous with each other, be active and participate, but also respect each other. And we hope that you enjoy. And thank you very much once again for those that have joined. This morning we have over 60 people in the room as well. And we know how AI-generated text in academic writing is becoming increasingly prevalent. And as Prof has highlighted, how are we going to strike a balance? You know, these are the hard decisions we have to make, as well as engaging discussions around AI for academic purposes. And the Internet of Things are growing and more content is becoming available. So how are we going to use these tools to develop our students? I'll just give an example. I looked at a very interesting history essay assignment. And we know the mainstream history presents modern labor organization as developing in factories during the Industrial Revolution in England. And this is the norm that the North always puts out, the common view. And then ChatGPT, the lecturer actually then generated something from ChatGPT. As well as, again, we saw that ChatGPT just put out the norm and stated how this labor organization actually developed during the Industrial Revolution in England, and other ways like slave ways of working, like the slavery and the household production, that is almost like it disappeared. The lecturer then gave the students relevant readings specifically on the plantation systems in the Caribbean during the 18th century Atlantic capitalism, the slave trade. And then they had to critically look at those readings and look at how the plantation systems actually included very innovative labor management techniques. Again, the lecturer had to be very clear instructions. Do not get bogged down with the generated text from ChatGPT. And if you are going to compare it, you need to actually reference that ChatGPT paragraph very carefully. And then the lecturer provided guidelines. So those are the discussions we're going to go in. I looked at some synthetic media, colleagues, and we need to, when our students look at these AI bots and AI systems, we need to think about what they're doing. They need to look at some the synthetic media, like Midjourney, for example. Asked Midjourney to show you pics of women with a healthy hair, and this is what comes up. Asked Midjourney produce a photo around a graduation photo of a professor, man with healthy hair, woman with healthy hair in Cape Town, for example. Just look at the images that it portrays. Again, there are free sites like Stable Diffusion, gives the students many distorted images, and look at the biases that came out of this graduation photo of a professor, mainly white males. So when people are using the synthetic media, let's advise our students. So it's going to be about driving the technology, training, advising, and we are still the subject matter leaders. You are a leader in your field. The AI cannot take over. You need to think about how it gives you very skewed views, mainly around European views, gender inclusivity, representation of youth, representation of people of color. Look at things like that, colleagues. And then lastly, before I hand over to our speaker, This was personal experience. I looked at some feedback from a lecturer that gave feedback to the students overall after capstone assignment. And the lecturer then gave overall assignment. Those that got into in the 80s, why? Those 70s, why? And then the lecturer also stated very clearly, there were 20 students that had abused the AI, and they were allocated a mark of 0 each because of the abuse. And then the lecturer then says, come and see me on an individual basis, and there's possible disciplinary action. But at this institution, every student at the start of their assignment, whether it's an essay, tutorial, discussion forum, they hand in a plagiarism declaration form. That's the stance the institution took. So right at this first year's journey, it's instilled in them around plagiarism and why they shouldn't. And then now also the detection of AI, but especially around the abuse of AI. So these are the kind of things we're going to have to discuss, colleagues. What are the statements and policies we're going to have to formulate for our institution? And as like Prof said at the start, are we just going to, use it, abuse it, and then also think about how we are going to train our students, just like we did when we brought in Turnitin, copy leaks, etc. It's about training, it's about designing your environments, it's about designing your assessments. But you are going to have to become familiar with the technologies as well, colleagues, in order to assist your students. Okay, so thank you very much. And Caroline, I'd like you to introduce our first speaker. Thank you, colleagues.